Hi, welcome to the last part of the course Mastering Search Engine Optimization, which is the advanced part of this course. My name is Farhad Tekori and I'm the teacher of this course. Here you can see the course links where you can get the material of the course from. And also here are some typographical conventions that we're going to use throughout the course. So in the bottom of the slides, you may encounter these icons and each of them means something, so make sure to get familiar with them. And here is also difficulty level indicator that you can see on the top of the slides. The content of the course has been divided into three different level of difficulty content: easy, moderate, and hard. And here is also the slide framework where you can see the title here, difficulty level indicator going to be here, page number. And here, if you enter this code on this URL, you will be redirected to the certain exact part of this tutorial video about that certain slide. And the content going to be in the middle, and then course name, section name, and those icons. So the content of this part of the course, which is the advanced part, is the file about robots.txt, how to disallow search engines to crawl in your websites, concept of rel equal to canonical, and then some myths and misconceptions about search engine optimization, the benefits of using social media, search engine tools, a few of them going to be introduced to you, and how to view other sites and pages, the status of this SEO concept, Alexa rank, and then Google Trends, and then pages speed insights. And finally, we're going to be introduced to Google Analytics and how to work with that. And as we talked earlier, our definition SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. So let's talk about a little bit about the file robots.txt file. A robot.txt file tells search engines whether they can access and therefore crawl parts of your site. This file, which must be named robots.txt and placed in the root directory of your site. So by default, as you read here, you can tell a search engine when those bots and crawlers are crawling your website to tell them in which part of your website they're allowed to crawl and which are not. At first, it may sound a little bit weird, but sometimes you have some like very valuable content that you are providing them for your like members, and you don't want everyone uh, publicly have access to them. So you can somehow disable the access for those search engines as well. Of course, they are not reliable, but the probability of them going to be higher in order to disallow them to search your site. And here you can see a sample of that file. So you have to place your robots.txt file in the main root. So for instance, this is your domain name and you have to place it here, not in other directories or somewhere else. And that can tell search engine crawler and bot where to crawl or not. So you can see here you have user agent, the name of the search engine bot. You can easily find the name of search engine bots on the internet if you search for that. Different user agents, search engines, and a star means all of them. So you can see here we are disallowing the content of this files folder and also this users folder. And here there's a certain user agent or search engine bot that we are disallowing and don't let to get near like our website anywhere. This is the main route, and it means that all of these parts of the website are being disallowed for this certain exact search engine bot, a spam bot. And definitely you cannot rely on that, but as I told you before, the probability of that will be higher to disallow them. So if you are considered about this fact, then it's better to put them there. But there are also some measurements. For instance, we can have password protected directories that only allow users with having certain password and user criteria can have access to those contents. And also, there are some tags in order to disallow search engines. We can use these meta tags. The meta robots tag can be used to control search engine crawler actively for all the major engines on a per page level. There are several ways to use meta robots to control how search engine treats a page. And here's an example. We have meta name robots and then content, no index, no follow. The next slide, we're gonna get introduced to these keywords as well. So we have this keyword of index or no index. We can determine if we are choosing index or no index. And index or no index tells the engines whether the page should be crawled and kept in the engine's index for retrieval. If you opt to use no index, the page will be excluded from the index. By default, search engines assume they can index all pages. So using the index value is generally unnecessary. So sometimes if you want to have that page as a no index concept, then we're gonna have to use that as well. And then we have these keywords of follow and no follow. Follow or no follow tells the engines whether link on the page should be crawled. If you elect to employ no follow, the engines will disregard the links on the page for discovery, ranking purposes, or both. By default, all pages are assumed to have the follow attribute. So when search engines are crawling your page, by having this follow and no follow keyword in those meta tags, you're gonna tell the search engine crawler and bot to not go further on any links of your page if you select no follow. And then we have this no archive keyword, which is used to restrict search engines from saving a cached copy of the page by default. The engines will maintain visible copies of all pages they have indexed, accessible to searchers through the cache link in the search results. So definitely you encounter a situation that you search something on Google and then you went to that website and find out, okay, the content is not the thing that you search for, and then you use this cache version of that page and then you see those contents. So if you select no archive, then the search engine not gonna store a cache version of your page. It's up to you to decide if you want that or not based on your purposes and everything. And then we have no snippets. And no snippets informs the engines that they should refrain from displaying a respective block of text next to the page title and URL in search results. And finally, we have no ODP and no YDIR, are specialized tags telling the engines not to grab a disrespectful snippets about a page from the Open Directory project or the Yahoo directory for displaying the search results. And also you have to consider that setting the value of the rel attribute of a link to nofollow will tell Google that certain links on your site shouldn't be followed or pass your page reputation to the page link to. No following a link is adding rel equal to nofollow inside of the link's anchor tag. And here's also example that you can also, if you have some certain links to apply this nofollow concept, then you can also when you're having this anchor of this hyperlink tag, here a property named nofollow can be added. And then we have the concept of rel equal to canonical, which is often two or more copies of the exact same content appear on your website under different URLs. For example, the following URL can all refer to a single homepage. As you can see here, they're all identical content going to be shown to the user. So if you use this concept, then the search engines will definitely make sure those content going to be the same. So it's not going to be somehow like thinking that you are having duplicate content in your page. So it's good to use this concept to make sure that search engine will understand that these are all the single page that they are browsing. So as you can see, by search engines, they are all different URLs, and they may think the content are identical, which, as we told earlier, in my opinion, in the first part of the course, this is not a very good concept to make the search engine thinks that several page of your website have identical content. That makes the content of your web page a little bit less valuable. And here is also a sample for that. For instance, we have this part here, link rel equal to canonical, and href this link, which is different than the link that it may visit or something without this www part. And now let's talk a little bit about myths and misconceptions in search engine optimization. It used to be very popular search engine submissions, and it was one of the main sources of search engine information that the webmasters and owners of the websites go to the search engine submissions tools of each popular search engines and individually and manually add their link and the content of the pages. But people overuse this feature and tool, and then search engines found out most of the content in these search engine submission tools are fake and spam. So unfortunately now they are not really useful, and before that it was truly recommended that you have to definitely submit your pages and sites and content in these search engine submissions, but it's not really practical anymore, and sometimes even it's like a bad thing if you do that also, unfortunately, in a very funny way. But yeah, this is not very important anymore. And then about the meta tags, well, they also used to be really popular, the main source of the search engine content, getting these meta tags of keywords and description, but they are not as effective as they used to be because just like search engine submissions, people also overuse this and putting so much content, irrelevant content, the keywords that they thought they could be popular, but they had nothing to do with the content of their website. So nowadays, search engines are much more smart, and they can crawl in your website, as we talked about, and truly find out what are the content of your website is about instead of just relying on your meta keywords and descriptions there. It's good to have them still, but they are not as effective as they used to be. Now let's talk about keyword and content stuffing. Well, placing as much keyword and content as you can will not help your site to obtain high ranking search engine results. Search engines nowadays are smarter, as we talked about, and can validate your keywords and content easily. So it was recommended to put like so much content and text in your pages, because then the search engines will be got somehow full that okay, there are like so much information there, and uh, probably they will be beneficial to index. But stuffing content which are mainly irrelevant or like too much nonsense text doesn't help the status of your search engine optimization anymore. So it's not really a good thing to do. Make sure to write your content related to your main topics, and as we talked earlier, focus on your users, not search engines. And if you make your users satisfied, then definitely search engines would be satisfied as well. And finally, let's talk about clocking. Clocking. A basic tenet of search engine guidelines is to show the same content to the engine's crawlers that you show to a human visitor. This means, among other things, not to hide text in the HTML code of your website that a normal visitor can see. So they can understand if you put your content in some kind of HTML div or some HTML tags or parts that you're not showing to the users, and this is definitely a negative point for search engines because they think that you're like stuffing content there just for them to think that there's so much content in your website. And once again, as we talked like many times, focus on your users and not try to fool these search engines, which are being smarter and smarter every day. Now let's talk about the benefit of using social media in order to boost up our status in search engine optimization. Well, increasing your number of followers in your social media networks is equal to increasing number of your customers, definitely. And the total number of followers and connections your social media profiles contain does have a significant influence on your rankings. Uh, that's for sure, and they can read the number of people who are following you and liking you on social media, your products, your uh, websites, services, whatever you're offering to them, and also use your social media page as your broadcast channel. Social media is also useful because it encourages more external sites to link to your content, and the more diverse external links you have, the more authority you'll gain in search engines' point of views. And then optimizing your post per search engines. Consider all those concepts which were beneficial for your content, such as being well written and using proper keywords. And then more share is equal to more visitors. The more your audience share your content, the more visitors you may get from this process. It's somehow like a free advertisement for your products and services and websites. And here in this Facebook post, you can see that the influence that a post had. So when we post this poster for a course in our tech class page, this is the number of people that got to see that. So it's a very valuable and interesting information to get benefit from. And here's an example of a post coming from Microsoft page. So you can see more than 2,000 people like this and more than 600 people shared this. So it means all of these people that share this post, their friends probably also read this post, which was a very nice concept and, as I told you, free advertisement. And here, when you're posting something on your pages on Facebook, you can somehow determine on which locations you would like those posts to be seen, what are the interests of people that they already selected, and the age limit and everything. So it's a very interesting tool to get benefit from while you are somehow advertising or looking for consumers of some services, products. You can select some kind of budget for your post, and then uh, just starting with some small thing to test this kind of features and tools, and then uh, easily get to know how they work, and then later you can just uh, make it bigger and bigger based on your needs. And here, as definitely you know, when you go to someone's or some company's page, you can see how many people like that page, and the more it is, it means that they are like more famous and more reliable, probably the products and the services. And also in Twitter, also there are some statistics that you can see on top of each person's page or Twitter account, the number of tweets that the person or the page, the company tweeted, the number of their followings, the people they follow, and the number of favorites that they had, like some posts, and they are valuable information to use. And also, if you are managing some accounts, Twitter accounts for yourself, the higher the number of your followers are, uh, it's easier for your users to rely on the content of your page. And on each tweet in Twitter, also there are some contribution status that you can see. It got retweeted how many times and how many times people favorited, or nowadays they change the favorite to liked word as well. And also in Instagram, you can also see this statistic about each page, Instagram page and account, how many posts they are posted, and what are the number of their followers, and how many other accounts they also follow. And also when you post something on Instagram, we have this contribution status that you can see how many people like this post and photo and how many comments were on the bottom of this post in order to people discuss that. And also the higher the number is, it means it's more popular and much more trend going on about your posts and photos. And then we have this concept of social media buttons. You can also place them inside of your web pages. So we have this Google plus one button, and you can add and customize this Google plus one button based on the size. And so when people click on that plus one button, it automatically gonna publish that page on their Google plus one account. They may not sound really popular nowadays, but definitely Google search engine rely on that. We're gonna later see the contribution that they're getting from different aspects, and also at least they have some kind of audience. So it's better to not avoid them and try to use that. And also we have this Facebook like button that just like Google plus one button, you can also place it inside of your web pages, and whenever someone press that like button on your web page, it will automatically show those content to the news feed, and then every single person of those friends of that person gonna see that that person liked that post or comment content or page. So it's somehow a reputation that they are making for your content and your brand and whatever product or services you are offering. And here also you can see an example of these buttons, different social media buttons on your page. They can look like this, and then as I told you, you can change the size and the look of their buttons based on your needs if you go to their website, and you can get the HTML code of those parts in order to place them in your website and web pages. And here is also Google search ranking factors in the USA. As you can see, in June 2013, they mainly rely on this Google plus one ranking. So the more people press Google plus one on your page, the more reputation Google consider for your web page and website and the other parts as well. So if you want to have significant impact for search engine optimization for the social medias, then definitely you have to consider these aspects as well. Now let's get familiar with search engine tools. Most of the popular search engines have some sort of tools in order to somehow manage your status and like getting suggestions and analyzing these concepts. So it's nice to be familiar with them and see if they suit your needs or not. For instance, we have this Google Search Console to get the data tools and diagnostics needed to create and maintain Google-friendly websites and mobile apps. So make sure to be familiar with that. There are so many nice tips in order to read and benefit from. And then we have Bing Webmaster Tools also. This interface provides a single overview of all of your website performance in Bing powered search results. Metrics at a glance, including clicks, impressions, page index, and number of page crawled for each site. So it's also a very nice and handy tool for you to use and see how it works. And then we have Moz Open Site Explorer. Moz Open Site Explorer provides valuable insight info about your website and links. So make sure to also check that to see what kind of information they have. And then we're gonna get familiar later also deeper with Google Trends as well. Find out what's trending on Google right now. It's also very valuable to select suitable keywords, and if you want to like spend time to write some kind of articles, you see what's the content that trending right now in the world and people are searching for that. So it's a very beneficial and nice information to know and benefit from. And to view the other sites and pages status, you can easily, because the internet is open source, you can also see their HTML code and find out how they are creating their websites. All of these concepts that we got familiar with, this like page titles, meta tags, how to put their content, and all of these properties that we got familiar with. So you can easily, with browsers, see and read the code, HTML code of those pages and websites, especially popular and famous websites and brands. You can see how they create these concepts on their behalf. So it's really nice, and we're gonna have this example of major browsers to see how you can get access to their pages code. So the first example gonna be Chrome browser. So when you right click anywhere on a website, you can select this view page source, and then a new tab will be opened up and show you the code of that certain page. So this is an example from Tech Class website. You can see that we have these meta tags and describe our portal, and also using some keywords. So it's nice to also view it on the other website as well. So it was an example coming from Chrome browser. And for Edge or Internet Explorer, well, this is the interface is now coming from Microsoft Edge, which is uh, coming after Internet Explorer browser. So you can right click on the page and select view source. So as you can see, they are really similar to each other. And when you select that, you can also see this source code of a page that you select from as well. And also in Firefox, you also right click anywhere on the page and select this view page source. And then on a new page, you can see this code coming from that page as well. So it's a very nice practice, as I told you before, to analyze the status of the other web pages and websites code, and to see what kind of keyword they are using. If you have some kind of competitors, you see what they focus on, what are the keywords, the way that they describe their services and products. So it's very nice to use this. Now let's get familiar with Alexa rank. So you may wonder that if there is any information somewhere in the internet to see what website has the most visitors based on the country, based on general aspects. For instance, what are the top websites that they are visiting in Finland? So by this tool, you can also benefit from this feature and get this very valuable information from, and also analyze your own status, your own website status among your competitors, to see and compare them based on the number of visitors. So Alexa Internet Incorporation is a California-based company that provides commercial web traffic data and analytics. It is a wholly owned subsidiary of Amazon.com. Founded as an independent company in 1996, Alexa was acquired by Amazon in 1999. Its toolbar collects data on browsing behavior and transmits them to the Alexa website, where they are stored and analyzed, forming the basis for the company's web traffic reporting. According to its website, Alexa provides traffic data, global ranking, and other information on 30 million websites. And as of 2015, its website is visited by over 6.5 million people monthly. And here is the link to their website that you can go and check their features and tools as well. Here, as I checked Metropolia.fi Alexa statistic, you can see the global rank is a little bit more than 37,000, and in Finland, this is the number 140 website that people in Finland are visiting. As I told you, it's a very valuable information. You can see uh, during the time how it changed the ranking and everything. So sometimes it was like a little bit lower, sometimes it's now higher. So it's a very nice and beneficial information to use. And also you can see the percentage of visitors coming from different countries. Also, that's a very nice information to get benefit from, to understand where your visitors are coming from. and also the engaged ranking and everything, the bounce rate, daily page views per visitors, and daily time the visitors spend on your site. Also, it's a very nice information. And finally, you can see here, based on the category or country, what are the number of top websites that they are visiting, based on the location and category. It's a very nice information, and also motivate you to find your way upper and then make your websites more, the number of your visitors more, so you get a better rank as well. Now let's get familiar with Google Trends. Google Trends is a public web facility of Google Incorporation based on Google search that shows how often a particular search term is entered relative to the total search volume across various regions of the world and in various languages as well. The horizontal axis of the main graph represents time starting from 2004, and the vertical is how often a term is searched for relative to the total number of searches globally. Below the main graph, popularity is broken down by countries, regions, cities, and languages. And here's also the link to the website of Google Trends. And here you can see that, well, during the time, this image in the center changes based on the trend. And you can search for the keyword that you're looking for to see how big they are trending, and also getting some keywords that nowadays is like trending much more. For instance, here you can see what are the top trending stories every day. You can check that time to time based on the locations. That's a very nice and beneficial part of information to have and get benefit from. For instance, I search for gender equality. You can see that during the time how it changes. So how much people were concerned during the time, like about that. And interestingly, you can also add more terms to compare them. Later, you can see how. And also, you can see for each like certain location how big they are trending. And also related searches, like related to the keywords that you're searching. That's very nice to get the idea of similar and related keywords to the keyword that you want to place on your keyword tag as well. So this can also use handy in that situation as well. And here also you can see that I added human rights, and then you can compare uh, like the influence and the trends among these two and even more topics as well. So it's really, really nice, especially for brands, especially for companies that offering some products, services, to see how much people are concerned and during the time how it got changed. Uh, the other feature which is really, really interesting is this forecast feature. So it predicts that how is it going to be in the future. Well, it's not like definitely true, but it's have some kind of like uh, closeness to reality or something based on the algorithm they are using, based on their experiences and the information they are storing. So it's nice to also use this feature as well. So you can also try it by yourself. Make sure to go there and get yourself more familiar with. It's a very nice and beneficial feature to use, and you can get to know more about that by visiting their website and just try your desired search keywords. Now let's get familiar with PageSpeed Insights. Google PageSpeed is a family of tools by Google Incorporation designed to help a website performance optimizations. It was introduced at Developer Conference in 2010. There are four main components of PageSpeed family tools: PageSpeed Module, also known as Mod PageSpeed, PageSpeed Insights, PageSpeed Service, and PageSpeed Chrome DevTools extension. All of these components are built to identify faults in a website's compliance with Google's web performance best practices, as well as automate the adjustment process. So here's the link that you can visit to. So it's a very nice and handy tool in order to somehow validate your website based on the best practices that in Google they're offering. So here's a screenshot of their page. You can enter a URL. So if you upload, you have to definitely upload your website online, make it accessible online, and then give the link here, and then make it like try to analyze it here based on their services, and then they're gonna give you the report and analysis of that web link based on their standards as well. So in both mobile view and desktop view, your website and your web page gonna be analyzed. Some very red alerts that they give you, and they really recommend you to fix them, and then some other medium priority fixes that you need to fix, and also the rule that you passed as well, which is a very nice, interesting piece of information about your web page and website. And also the same concept in desktop view as well. Here it was just some screenshots from our own portal, Tech Class portal. So there are so many stuff that we need to uh, like confront and come up with, like minifying JavaScript or optimizing images. It also help you to create your website in a way that it got loaded faster, so it's much better for your own web hosting purposes and also for your users when they are spending time on your website. So this is definitely a very beneficial information to apply on your websites and web pages. So make sure to try it by yourself to see if you're able to work with it and get more familiar with it. And now finally let's get introduced to Google Analytics. Google Analytics is a freemium web analytics service offered by Google that tracks and reports website traffic. Google Analytics is now the most widely used web analytics service on the internet. They got launched in November 2005, and here is the link that you can visit and use this Google Analytics and get to know more about and get the code that's necessary to put in your web page and website in order to use this service. Here are the main features that Google Analytics has: the dashboard, location status, system stats, mobile stats, visiting rate, real-time info, behavior flow, traffic sources, and much more features that they are having. As you can see, they are mainly related to the users that coming to your website, the way they are like behave in your website, and this information are very beneficial for any webmaster to use in order to have more realistic goals in the future, and also analyzing the current work load and users uh, that they have on the websites and their projects, and they are like hosting them somewhere and providing them this kind of services. So make sure to completely get familiar with this very beneficial tool and try to use it for yourself as well. So to add Google Analytics to your website and web pages, you need to create a Google account, and then add a new Google Analytics account and add new property and get the code, and then place it in the head part of your HTML code, because as I told you before, the head part is the first part that's being loaded, and then the body part will be loaded. So that's the place that you have to put it. And here is the sample code that something similar, well, definitely similar to that, they're going to give it to you, but here instead of this code part, it's going to be your own value as a code. So in that way, it can somehow communicate with Google Analytics server and send this information from your users when they're visiting your website. And here are some screenshots from Google Analytics. Here is the dashboard where you can see very beneficial features, information that based on the features that they are providing. So for instance, you can see what were the session numbers in different times if it got increased or decreased based on some days, analyzing specific dates to see if there were some happenings in your websites going on that provided and bring more users and consumers in your website. So it's really beneficial. The number of visitors in total that they visited your website, the number of page views, and uh, the locations they were coming from. So it's a very beneficial feature to get the best out of, and also, as I told you, try to have a more realistic goals. And here you can see the country's stats from where your visitors are coming from. It's also pretty handy and beneficial, especially if you are providing some kind of international services and analyzing from which countries you have your main users are coming from, focusing on those markets or trying to find new market share in somewhere else in the world. So this is also very beneficial. And here also based on the cities that they are visiting, and this information are really easy to get from this Google Analytics. It's a very user-friendly interface they are having. Or for instance, this browser's information that you understand from which main browsers your visitors are coming from, their operating system, their screen resolution and screen colors. So it's really handy and practical for your developers to understand if they need to focus on certain screen resolution and make it compatible for them uh, to be the web pages to be seen there and to be visited there. So it's a very, as I told you before, it's a very beneficial information to use and have for your development process and everything. And here's also the operating system example. You can see based on these tables, very beneficial information. And the screen resolution. So in this way, you will make sure that you are providing the best possible experience for especially the main screen resolutions that your visitors are uh, using. If you have to focus more on mobile side or desktop side, so it's really interesting piece of information. And also this visits stats, that is also really important as I described earlier. And you can set it based on like hours, days, weeks, months, and then understand during some a specific amount of time what were the number of your visitors. But obviously it will show you the number of visitors after you place that code in your website. So obviously before that time it's not accessible, because after you place that code in your web pages and your website, then whenever a user is visiting your website and web pages, then it will communicate with their server and then get all of this beneficial information sent and store them for you. And here also you can see based on the mobile stats and information, the devices that they were having. So for instance, you can see if you are want to develop some application, mobile application, which are the main platforms your users are using. So at first you can create those apps on those markets and then the other ones. So having this priority. So as I told you, there's so many great piece of information that you can use for your services, products, and your brands and everything. And this is also very interesting information. Your real-time users, how many people are currently on your website browsing and visiting your website. It's also very interesting. Where they coming from, in which page they are right now. They're very interesting piece of information. And here also you can see their behavior flow. So from which page they started browsing your site, and then how was their path and their journey in your website, and from which page they closed and they stopped browsing your website and web pages. So you can see on which part of your website is a dead end, and users usually leave your website. And you can have some kind of plan in order to make them stay in your website. In some pages that usually they leave your website, you provide some more links or try to somehow bring them back to your website so you have more page views and visitors on your site. And here also you can see the traffic channels, which is also very important information. You can see how your visitors are coming to your website. Was it a direct link? Was it from social medias? Was it some kind of referral link or some organic search from search engines? So it's really nice information to have, and then understanding how your visitors are finding your website and start browsing your website. And also traffic sources, from which website they got the link and then came to your website. Then somehow you can like get to know more about your visitors and focus on some websites more on in order to bring more users to your website and your services and pages. So as I told you, this is very interesting piece of information, so make sure to understand it better, make sure to add this to your web page. Just analyze all of this information, slowly get used to them, and also later definitely you will benefit from all of this information which are providing for you for free. And that's a really interesting fact about this service, which is a freemium service for everyone to use. And there are some other like services they are providing. You can purchase some kind of credit in order to use in Google search or some other services which are related to these kind of concepts. So it's a very handy and powerful tool, and that's where it makes a difference for uh, the brands, websites, and products that they're using them and getting these benefits, and the ones that they're not using them. So it's a great advantage for you to learn that, especially if you are more interested in search engine optimization concepts. And these tools are really beneficial and can have great advantage when you're using them. And here are also some links if you want to have some further study over them and get to know more about these concepts. You can also visit them and gain more knowledge for these topics as well. So here we are, and this was the end of the third and the last part of this course. I hope you had a wonderful class, and thank you for your consideration. And make sure to also go through the assignments, quiz, and project for this course. If you want to pass this course, you need to submit them. And thank you for your consideration, and have a nice time.